passes, it becomes much more dire.
Coast Guard crews enter another day in a desperate search for dozens of people off the coast of Fort Pierce. We are live with search efforts that are now underway.
This was a rash decision.
Governor DeSantis still pushing back on the federal government's decision to pull monoclonal antibody treatments. We're breaking down the options now since those monoclonal sites are now closed across the state.
And a mild start again. We're in the 60s this morning, but really cold air is headed our way for the weekend. I've got to look at those falling temperatures.
You're watching CBS 12 News This Morning.
Hey there, happy Friday Eve to you. Enjoy those mild temperatures, even warm temperatures right now because, man, it's going to get cold this weekend.
Oh, yeah, it is. Good morning, everyone. Coldest air of the season will move in this weekend, bringing the possibility of record lows for some parts of our area.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about mid-30s. We're talking about maybe low 30s, maybe feels like the 20s.
You see that 29-degree temperature there?
Oh,
in Oak?
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Believe it. Yeah, it's going to get really cold this weekend, Matt and Ashley. Our skies will at least finally clear out for us, but yeah, all that colder air is going to be coming in. Now, radar this morning, we're still tracking some clouds, some showers off the coastline. We might get a little light sprinkle or two. Looks like a little bit of rain just popped up right up near Fellsmere, right across I-95 up in Indian River County. Showers are possible today, like I said. Not a ton of rain expected. Even when the front comes through, it doesn't bring us that much rain, really mostly just clouds. But a lot of cold air is going to be moving in. Drier air, too, so our skies will finally clear out. It's been kind of cloudy the past couple days. We're on the backside of low pressure, so we end up with a northeast wind at times through your weekend. So that's why we do end up with some showers over the next couple of days. You'll see the hour by hour. This is 9:20 tomorrow night, so that front boundary moves in. It might bring a light shower or two, a few clouds for Saturday morning, and then the colder air just starts surging in and our temperatures drop quickly. This is the day for Port St. Lucie. Your highs are in the mid-70s. You're going to stay mild this evening and in the 60s. You'll notice skies still staying a little on the cloudy side, but more sun will be moving in as that colder air moves in too. A closer look at those falling temperatures is still ahead. Matt, Ashley.
Every moment that passes, it becomes much more dire and unlikely that anyone could survive in those conditions.
This morning, the desperate search for survivors off the coast of Fort Pierce enters day 3. Day 3 of this. The Coast Guard says they recovered one body and they're still searching for 38 other people after their boat capsized in a suspected human smuggling attempt. Coast Guard tells us someone, too, spotted this man clinging to this boat in the waters here. He told authorities he was traveling from the Bahamas when bad weather caused their boat to overturn. Right now, crews are focusing their search about 45 miles east of the Fort Pierce Inlet, right there, right off the coast there. We know the boat was traveling from Bimini in the Bahamas. Our Madeline Montgomery live in Fort Pierce this morning. What are you learning about the search, Maddie, where it all stands now?
Ashley, right now, Navy aircraft, Coast Guard boats, and rescue crews are all on the same mission to work as fast as possible to find anyone who may have survived this incident. They've actually searched an area so big, it's the size of the state of New Jersey, and they're searching through an area of debris that they think could be the belongings of these people who were on the boat that capsized. And the group was traveling from Bimini over here to the Treasure Coast, which usually is a relatively easy trip. But as seen in this video from the Coast Guard, seas were between 7 to 9 feet high and a cold front came through and wind speeds were up to 23 miles per hour when they were trying to reach Florida. No one was wearing a life vest and it was in the early hours of Sunday morning when the boat capsized. The combination of that is what concerns the U.S. Coast Guard.
Small vessels, overloaded, inexperienced operators at night in bad weather is incredibly dangerous.
You can tell from what that captain said that this is kind of a common occurrence for the Coast Guard and for search and rescue crews. And so in about 30 minutes, we're going to show you why these kind of incidents keep happening and what's being done about them. Reporting live in Fort Pierce, Madeline Montgomery, CBS 12 News.
All right, Maddie, and the Homeland Security Office in Miami is asking anyone with information about this boat to call their tip line. You're seeing that number on your screen right now.
And the search for survivors comes as the Coast Guard found a different boat full of Haitian migrants near the Bahamas. Coast Guard says they rescued 191 people on a green boat and a routine patrol this week. We know many Haitian migrants try to come to South Florida by boat during the night, something officials say is very dangerous. Last year was quite a difficult year for people in Haiti. An earthquake killed over 2,200 people there, and there was political unrest with the assassination of the president. That's resulted in an uptick in Coast Guard rescues. Numbers from the Coast Guard show nearly 4 times more rescues last year than the year before.
Well, we're following developments on this boat that capsized off the coast of Fort Pierce all day long. Remember, you can always get the latest information on our website, our news app, and on our CBS 12 News Facebook page.
All right, time is now 6:06, and this morning Governor DeSantis continues to push back on this U.S. Food and Drug Administration's decision to stop the use of monoclonal antibody drugs. The FDA pulled treatments made by companies Regeneron and Eli Lilly, saying they don't work against the Omicron variant. The governor says it's an abrupt move by the Biden administration.
This was a rash decision. This was not something that we got any real advance notice for. And it's a decision that I think is bad for patients.
Now, this week, the Florida Department of Health shut down all monoclonal antibody treatment sites in the state. The governor says he would like to reopen the sites if the state could get more of the authorized treatments available.
And while there are other treatments available, they're really tough to find in our area. Only some hospitals have the monoclonal options that work against Omicron variant. But you likely need to call ahead to even have a chance at getting it. Infectious disease specialist Dr. Larry Bush says it's tough for even the hospitals to get their hands on the treatment right now.
We're told by the manufacturers that they're going to step that up quickly. But we've been told this before, and I think that's been the real problem here. We say, get ready, go get this, and then when you go to get it, it's not there to be gotten.
Dr. Bush says there are other monoclonal antibody treatments for the immunocompromised, plus antiviral pills made by Merck and Pfizer. Keep in mind, patients have to be diagnosed with COVID early on to possibly get these treatments and get a prescription from a doctor.
And the state has a website available to help you find the treatments that we just broke down. But again, they are not easy to find. We have this map here that shows blue pinpoints for where you can find the monoclonal antibodies and green pinpoints for where you can find the antiviral pills. Take a look here at the coast, up and down. No blue pinpoints whatsoever, and just one green pinpoint here in the West Palm Beach. So that's, again, when you can find the antiviral pills. That's at that public store on North Military Trail in West Palm Beach, but none on the Treasure Coast.
6:08 is the time right now. This morning, Dr. Joseph Ladapo's nomination to become Florida Surgeon General. It's moving to the full Senate. So this comes after a major showdown by Democrats who walked out of this hearing, specifically between Dr. Ladapo and Democratic Senator Lauren Book, who repeatedly pressed him on whether he finds coronavirus vaccines to be effective. I want you to listen to more now on that exchange.
Just a yes or no. Do vaccines work in fighting against COVID-19? Yes or no?
As a scientist, I am compelled to answer the scientific question.
So from here, Dr. Ladapo must get approval from another committee, all before the full Senate votes to officially confirm him.
And this morning, a federal vaccine mandate is in effect for more than 10 million healthcare workers nationwide.
Yeah, Supreme Court dropped vaccine mandates for large businesses, but then kept them in place for healthcare workers who receive federal funding. And
Kara Duffy's with us at the live desk this morning. Kara, Governor said several times he's not going to enforce this.
That's right. The governor has made it very clear since day one he does not agree with vaccine mandates. But now that the Supreme Court has given the green light for the federal mandate for healthcare workers to go into effect, well, it now puts hospitals and medical facilities in a tough spot caught between federal and state policies. Now, if you recall, last year, Governor DeSantis passed legislation that forces businesses with vaccine requirements to let workers opt out for several different reasons, like religious beliefs, medical reasons, and immunity from a previous infection. He also said they could move forward if they agreed to regular testing or to wear protective gear. Businesses that don't comply could be hit with up to a $50,000 fine. Again, today's federal mandate goes into effect. It only applies to the healthcare workers, so any medical office that takes part in Medicare and Medicaid programs. And Matt, Ashley, healthcare workers who have not yet received their shots will have an additional month to become fully vaccinated. Matt?
All right, Kara, thank you. It is now 10 past 6, and this morning you should be able to pick up those free N95 masks at your local CVS. It's part of the Biden administration's plan to send out 400 million masks across the country to help protect against the Omicron variant. As for other stores, masks will be arriving at Winn-Dixie tomorrow. Most Walmart and Sam's Club locations should be available there by the second week of February. There's a limit of 3 adult-sized masks per person. Make sure to call and make sure they're in stock before you go.
And still ahead, a Supreme Court justice going out, meaning President Biden's about to make his choice to bring someone in. We'll take a look at the names already being floated to join the highest court.
And a law meant to protect crime victims from unwanted media coverage, now being used for a police officer. Why the move is causing so much controversy. That's in 7 minutes.